High school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello again and welcome to Overtime. I'm Scott Leber.
And I'm David Greenberg. This is the show for the serious high school basketball fans. We're 6 weeks in and it seems like the fun is just only beginning.
Yeah, tournament time starts tomorrow for the girls. We'll preview which teams are playing at what locations. We'll also be joined by Rockford Lutheran boys coach Tom Guse to discuss another great regular season by the Crusaders.
And I'll spotlight Hononegah senior Haley Warren. She's a huge reason why the Indians have claimed yet another NIC 10 championship. This is the final Friday night of NIC 10 boys action. There's still a few conference games left to be played earlier next week.
Yeah, the suspense over the conference championship ended though this past Wednesday night when the Auburn Knights wrapped it up with a big win at East. But the Knights want to keep the momentum going, and there is still a perfect conference record to shoot for. Tonight, the Knights hosted BOYLAN. A lot of people were in the castle for this one, but two important people were missing for Auburn. Mike Jones sat out with an injury, and head coach Brian Ott was absent, cheering on his daughter at a state dance competition. So Joe Danforth took over the Auburn reins once again. Auburn in attack mode here in the second half. It is Brennan Horton-Lee for the lay-in. Horton-Lee will attack again, and he will score again. But BOYLAN was fired up for this game. Tristan Ford, determined to get to the basket, does so. Nolan Bronze will then fire in 3 of his 16 points. Joey Apino was dynamite tonight. Here he is. He'll hit from deep. And then it's Ford from the corner. Yes, sir. He scored 17. BOYLAN went up by 8 in the fourth quarter. And Rob Chaney tried to keep the Knights in it. Good-looking drive from him here. But right back comes Apino with another nifty drive. He scored 23. And then Bronze is going to hit another 3-ball. And that was the dagger that really sealed it. The Titans hand the Knights their first conference loss in the season, 64-50. What did this game mean to the BOYLAN Titans?
Well, it just feels great to come in here, get the job done on their home floor, on their senior night. And we didn't care about the records coming in. We just knew we should have had the last one, so it feels great to get the job done tonight.
We were excited for this game just because we knew what crowd Auburn would bring. So we love to play in this atmosphere, and I think it'll really help us going forward, especially in the postseason.
Really tough on the road, high-quality opponent. Especially coming in here to win. I think our seniors were pretty fired up to come and play here, and they showed it on the floor.
Yes, they did. Now, all teams want momentum going into tournament time. Guilford, though, might be at the top of the list.
Yeah, the Vikings lost a little bit of that juice on Wednesday night when they let a late lead slip away against HARLEM. But they were back in action tonight at Jefferson. Go to the second half. Makai Dolby, he came to play tonight. Going to get the pass here from Brendan Gray, sets his feet and knocks down the 3 from the wing. He finished with 22 points. Guilford on the break now. Malachi Johnson to Gray. That's another Vikings 3-ball. Gray had 13, but they had trouble slowing this guy down. Randy Johnson backing his defender down, goes up strong and lays it in. The Jayhawks going to look right back to their playmaker inside. Johnson, that's another bucket. He led all scorers with 23 points. Now these little guys hitting the gritty on the Guilford sideline in the middle of a timeout. On the press now, the pass intercepted by Tyshawn Berry-Sneed. That's an easy layup. Guilford bounced back to victory tonight over Jefferson, 68-50.
Well, East could claim a share of second place in the conference if the E-Rabs could get a win at Hononegah. This was a close one to the end. Indians ball Braden Savitsky-Lynn over to Brandon Beck, who goes in and avoids the contact, gets the hoop. Rashard Young for the E-Rabs, dribbling, gets by his guy, and he gets right to the bucket. No help there on defense. Not in time anyway. Savitsky-Lynn again for the Indians will find Beck, and again he pulls up and connects for the shot. What a difference he makes in this team. Matthew Horde going for the shot, got it blocked from behind. Owen Hart grabs it. Here he goes coast to coast, spins, throws it up. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at that.
Indians had the lead with 4.2 seconds to go. Not much time left for East. Rashard Young will get the pass to Latrell Kyles over to Horde. And that prayer was blocked, recovered by Hart, who always seems to be in the right place at the right time. That was it. Hononegah gets another close win, 62-61.
Well, it was a special night in Belvedere. The Bucks hosted the Blue Thunder in their crosstown rivalry. And before the varsity game, Belvedere honored graduate Kurt Gibson and former coach Jack McCarthy. Gibson's currently the IHSA Assistant Executive Director, and McCarthy had some excellent teams at Belvedere back in the day. Both are being inducted into the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame.
Tonight, I'm back in Belvedere. In Belvedere, I love you.
It's always great to come home, but it's a very humbling night. Very fortunate to have had a career where I've been able to take the gifts that I learned here as a Belvedere High School student, working with young people around the state, working with coaches and other administrators. So it's really been a ton of fun.
Well, congratulations to the two of them. Now to the game action. Both teams are ready to roll as their starting lineups were announced tonight. Blue Thunder started rolling quickly. Jacob Booker delivers the bounce pass to Adam Brown. He gets the floater. Then it's Booker picking up another assist to the wing. Ethan Andre buries the triple for North. Then it's Aaron Winters showing he can take it to the rack. Strong through the contact. Still finds a way to lay it in. Now some good ball movement by North. Evan Horgan gets it started to Winters. Back inside to Horgan. Finds a cutting Adam Brown. He lays in the reverse. North hangs on in the end for the 41-28 win.
Well, Harlem, they welcome some more folks into their athletic wall of fame. Football player A.J. Wentland, soccer players Alyssa Stickler, Emily Scott, and Michaela Schmelzer, who also played hoops, and the 2004 girls soccer team. Congrats to them. The Huskies then took the court. They hosted the Freeport Pretzels in this contest. Alex Wilson makes a case for the wall of fame as he knocks down one from the arc. Then the kick out. Going to go in the corner to DeAndre Young. No rush. Plenty of time to hit that three. Pretzels get it to Caleb Dixon, the jumper on the spot. He is having a great season. Caden Klein next. Klein can drive and score. Pretzels going right back the other way. It's going to be Dixon again pulling up and hitting another shot. But Dane Daling will knock down three for Harlem here. He's a confident shooter, and you know what? That guy, I think, could write a book on coaching. He's been around so long. In fact, he did write a book on coaching.
That's right.
The Huskies able to hold on for a one-point win, 70-69. The updated Nick 10 standings look like this in the top half. Auburn already has the conference crown in the bag. The Knights now 15-1. Guilford alone in second at 12-4. East and Boylan now tied for third, 11-5. Hononegah fifth at 10-6.
I'll stay where you are. We're just getting started. Coming up later, highlights from Winnebago and Pecatonica, plus my spotlight feature on Hononegah's Haley Warren.
But up next, we're joined by Rockford Lutheran head coach Tom Guse to discuss his Crusaders. They just capped off another Big Northern Conference championship. You're watching Overtime. Well, the Big Northern Conference was very balanced this year, but one team separated itself from the pack, and that team was once again the Rockford Lutheran Crusaders. Thursday night, they finished up conference play with a 30-point win at Byron, and that gave the Satyrs a 9-0 conference record. It's their third straight conference championship and their third straight undefeated season in conference play. Their overall conference winning streak stands at 32 games. But it's all about the postseason now for the Satyrs. Remember last year in the COVID season, they went 16-0 and were ranked number 1 in the state in Class 2A, but there wasn't a postseason. So they're looking forward to an opportunity this year. Earlier, head coach Tom Guse joined me by Zoom to discuss his Crusaders.
Tom, your team's been having another terrific season, 32 consecutive now Big Northern Conference wins, going back a few years, another Big Northern Conference championship. All this despite the fact you graduated some tremendous talent from last season. You lost another tremendous talent to transfer, and yet here your guys are right back at it again, having success. How gratifying has it been to watch this season unfold and watch your young guys do what they've been doing?
It's been very gratifying. The kids, I think it just speaks from the tradition we've had, and those seniors from last year left a legacy and showed this group on what it means to be a great teammate and the type of work ethic you need to be successful. And the groups before them passed that on to them. So, it's been very gratifying. We didn't get off to a great start this year. But the kids, they're winners, and they didn't know what he was pointing fingers. We just kept going, and here we are. We're able to win another conference championship.
And it helps when you have a point guard who's an All-Stater and Walter Hill Jr. All-Stater last year, should be again this year, in my opinion. And the thing that really impresses me about Walter is his confidence. I mean, he looks like he is always ready for every challenge, no matter who the opponent is. He's always ready to go, right? Give me a feel for his confidence level and the way he's improved his game this year.
Walt's a special talent. He's a great teammate. He works tremendously hard. I think he would tell you too. You look at we had a point guard by the name of Eric Nystrom a few years ago, and he taught Zach Darris on how to be a point guard. And then Zach pushed that on to Walt last year, and Walt ends up being an all-stater last year. I think a lot of it has to do with the success of the guys before, but Walt's confidence is, he just seems like he's getting better every day. He works real hard. He's a great teammate, and we're lucky to have him on our side. And I agree. I think he'll be an all-stater again this season.
And then the thing that makes you guys so good is your depth. I mean, even if Hill has an off night, I mean, you got Blake Brovey, Donovan Sales, Jackson Souls, Montez Dent, Garrett Bertrand. I mean, I know when teams game plan for you, they probably start with Hill, but I don't know how you begin to try to stop all those guys. What a luxury to have that kind of balance and that kind of depth.
Yeah, I think, we've had multiple games with 4 or 5 guys in double figures on any given night. I think we have 4 guys averaging double figures and 3 more guys real close to that. And that becomes very difficult to defend. If you want to try to take Walt away, like I'm sure that's like the number one thing on the board. Yeah, we have plenty of guys that can pick up the slack and score if he's having an off night. And that's what makes us pretty good is the fact that we have a good team and they play as a team.
A little over a week from now, your guys are going to be competing in the Marengo Sectional, Subsectional B. For the viewers watching, some of the teams in there are some you're familiar with, North Boone, Rockford Christian, Marengo. Then there are others, Aurora Christian, Aurora Central Catholic, St. Ed's, Wheaton Academy. But as you just kind of step back and look at the big picture of all the teams in those 2 Marengo Subsectionals, I mean, what are your thoughts? What goes through your mind when you look at that field?
You look at the field and one game at a time. I think you can get caught up into, well, this team has this and this team can do that. All you can do is take care of the opponent that you're across from that night and get prepared for them. Our kids are very, very focused and they have really high goals, but you don't accomplish those by getting ahead of yourself. You got to get better in practice from one day to the next, and then one game at a time, and don't get ahead of yourself and don't take anybody for granted. That's why they call it March Madness. And
you're in Class 2A. I should let the viewers be aware of that. And one last thing here. You found an old photo in a yearbook, I believe, of 2 young guys. I'm not 100% sure who they are, but the guy on the right, he looks like you. And the guy on the left may be me. So this is like 30 years ago, right, Tom? Where'd you find this photo at, huh?
We were up in school, and they had a bunch of yearbooks out, and that was my senior year yearbook, and I just flopped it open. I hadn't looked at it in years. And then, oh, look at that. And then sure enough, it's you 30 years ago.
After a really big game, right? That was a big game, right?
Yeah, that was the Winnebago Lutheran game at Stillman for the regional championship, where everybody
91.
was slipping and sliding and pure craziness. But I ran across that picture and said, I had to send it to you because I know you get a kick out of it.
What was I asking you? Do you have any idea what my question was?
Why did Coach Coe not get you the ball?
That might have been it. I think Marty knew what he was doing coaching you
Absolutely.
guys. But I think we were setting up this interview and saying, hey, 31 years from now, let's get together for a Zoom and talk about you coaching the Crusaders. I think that's what we were talking about then.
If we'd only knew.
I'm just honored that I made it in the Lutheran yearbook, We haven't changed that much, really, have we, David?
Not too much. Just a little bit. Looks pretty cool. Congratulations, obviously, to the Crusaders on their season.
Yeah, we are back to the highlights next. Boys action from Winnebago and Pecatonica. We got you up to speed with the Big Northern Conference champions from Lutheran. Now let's get you caught up on the rest of the conference.
Let's head out to Winnebago. Indians hosted Stillman Valley tonight. Stillman down in the second. David Wilhite trying to get it close. Hits the rim, but luckily Alex Ron is there for the putback. And it's Garrett Ashe coming down the lane for Bago and getting it to go. Still with it, Bago here. Carl Furch secures a pass from Ray Marici. Thinks about it and says, yeah, I'll do it. A little too easy there. This one very back and forth late in the first half. Evan Davidson to the rack. And Owen Dunseth spins and gets his shot to fall. And it's Bago's Furch again, taking it to the hoop. drops it in while falling to the hardwood. Back to Stillman now. Ron gets another rebound, fights to the basket, goes up, gets two more, but tonight belonged to Winnebago, who gets the win on senior night, 67-41. Also in the Big Northern Conference tonight, Dixon dismantles Oregon 71-16, and Rockford Christian beat Rock Falls.
To Pecatonica now, where the Indians hosted Durand. A win for Peck would guarantee the Indians at least a share of the NUIC North Championship. Evan Folk and Durand down big as he puts up the shot. No go, but Alex Montalvan gets the backside put back. Will Howard next to the basketball, but not for long. It's poked away. Trenton Taylor going the other way and bringing it home for the layup. Indians ball now. Bo Seaton puts up a shot. Misses, but Hunter Hoffman right there. The spin, the hesitation, and that'll do it. Bulldogs still playing from behind. Roger Main's going to pull up behind the arc. Drops it home. He was happy about that one. Peck coming right back. Outside it goes to Corbin Gann. And he'll drill the three-point shot. And more Hunter Hoffman here. He'll shake the defender. He'll find Gann again. He likes that spot, evidently. Big bucket there. Peck cruises to the victory, 76-37 over Durand. Girls tournament play begins tomorrow, although most teams won't take the court until next week.
Now let's take a look at where some of our teams will be playing in some various regionals. In Class 4A at Harlem, the 4 teams that'll take the court Monday will be Harlem, Hononegah, Auburn, and DeKalb. In Class 4A in Jefferson Regional, 5 teams will compete: East, Jefferson, Guilford, Huntley, and Hampshire. In the Class 3A BOYLAN Regional, the 4 teams will be there: BOYLAN, Freeport, Belvedere, and Burlington Central. In Class 3A at Rochelle, there'll be 5 teams: Rochelle, Belvedere North, Sycamore, Canelan, and Plano. In Class 2A, 6 teams will compete in Rockford Lutheran, Rockford Christian, North Boone, Byron, Stillman Valley, and West Carroll.
6 more teams will compete in the 2A Oregon Regional: Oregon, Winnebago, Rock Falls, Riverdale, Erie, and Rock Island Oleman. And there will be a boatload of regional action in Class 1A. Teams will compete at Eastland, Durand, Stockton, and Indian Creek. Hey, let's take another break. When we return, it's our Spotlight segment.
It's a lady who's excelling at Hononegah just like many of her other family members have. We'll get to meet Haley Warren. Over the course of the last 2 seasons, the Hononegah girls basketball team has only lost 1 conference game, a program that just continues to churn out college athletes. We take a deeper look at one of them this week in our Spotlight segment. Meet Haley Warren. If you're in the stands for a Hononegah girls basketball game, it'll be hard to miss their outspoken senior, Haley Warren.
Let's go, I've always been pretty loud, you know. When I was younger, I stopped talking to Haley, stopped talking in classes and stuff.
Probably more than anything, it's unlimited energy. You know, that's one of the things that she's got a lot of.
You'll also notice her sniper-like scoring ability from beyond the arc.
I want to compete, I want to win. If you're going to do it, go big or home, you know.
She didn't start playing basketball until middle school, but by the time freshman year came around, head coach Jason Brunke felt she was ready to be moved up to varsity.
She's really transitioned from an athlete to a basketball player, you know, and that's kind of the biggest thing. She always had, you know, really good athleticism and traits, and really has kind of blossomed into more than just a shooter as well, and really become an all-around basketball player.
Being a part of those teams, she got to develop under some former Indian greats like Jordan King, who currently plays at Marquette, and Julia Burns.
Just the way she played, and she was always into it, and even if she was having an off day, she'd always come to practice and be like, okay, we got to get it done, and I think I really look up to her in a lot of different aspects.
Haley also looks up to her parents, who both played collegiate athletics. Her mom, Tiffany, played soccer, and her dad, Jeremy, was a football and basketball star at Hononegah in the early 90s. He's since returned to coach for numerous schools around the state line.
I'm very competitive, yes. I think it would probably come from my mom and my dad. They definitely have always been very competitive. They have always pushed me to want to be the best, do the best, and anything I've done, they've always known how to push me. I've always pressured myself, I think, but they've always known how to make me go the extra mile. How good do you really want to be? They've always set that.
With sports being such a big part of their family, Haley's younger brother Cole is a sophomore at Hononegah and followed in his father's footsteps as a quarterback on the football field and guard on the basketball court. As you can imagine, the 2 siblings have shared quite a few battles over the years.
We 1v1 sometimes, yeah, that gets really competitive. We're pretty evenly matched, though.
So who would you say is the better shooter between the two of you?
I would say, oh God. I might be a better shooter, but he definitely has ball handling. He can dribble.
Oh, she's definitely the better shooter. I'm not even gonna lie, she's definitely the better shooter.
Yeah.
Did you toughen him up at all?
He would not like me saying yes, but I think so. I think a little bit, yeah.
And that same competitive spirit she gets from her family, she tries to help uplift in her teammates.
I feel my confidence has definitely grown a lot. I think I personally like to be a leader for the team. I feel like I had to be confident in my skills and myself, and I think this year I'm finally like, okay, like, you know, you're a senior, you're a big kid on the team.
With all the success the Hononegah girls basketball team has seen throughout her time in high school, Haley has certainly carved out a different path of the Warren family legacy.
I think maybe I put a different spin on it. I think I put a little spin on it because, you know, I think my dad, when he came here, for the basketball team at least, he was kind of more of like a passer. He was an amazing football player. But I think for like the basketball legacy, I want to like remember like, you know, how far we went. If I was like outgoing, you know, a team leader, like I just want to be that for our program.
Well, you know, Scott, when you think about the all-time three-point greats, you got Steph Curry, Ray Allen, and obviously Haley Warren. Not a bad list.
Yeah, I'd say so. She's certainly up there, and she'll continue to get even better at Lewis University next season. We'll be right back after this final break. We close with our play of the week.
Back to Hononegah, Owen Hart falling backwards, throwing it up, getting it to go. That is our play of the week, very much deserved.
The kid's unbelievable. Half-court shots and now that. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you again next Friday.
Enjoy your weekend.